welcome to Atlanta Mix 108. Up next is Author Talk with your host, M.L.Ruscsak.
Okay, so for this edition of Author Talk with ML, I'm here with my good friend and housemate from Wild Dreams Publishing, Kae Galla, and we're going to talk about Starburst. Kae, welcome to my show.
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome. So we have Starburst, and here's the thing with Starburst. Not only is it out in ebook, we're trying to get it into a new ebook format called Cine-book. And this is something myself and another Wild Dreams author, Kristen Collins, brought to Wild Dreams, and we dragged Kae along for the ride. This is
came along kicking and screaming.
Yes, we did. And it's going out very well right now. You still have like 60 days worth of voting as of July 16th of 18, so just so we know where we're at with voting. We have just over 400 votes, I think, and we need 1,000 to get it into this incredible ebook format that takes real-life actors and still photos, blends it seamlessly to tell the story page by page. So if you haven't already, check it out and vote. In the process, Starburst will be the second of the Wild Dreams published books to be in foreign languages. And we're doing, I believe, Spanish, French, and Italian.
Yes, all three. It's a big undertaking since you're the one helping me with that.
No, it's nothing. French will be done first, as it's in edit right now, and I believe I'm on page 109 out of 180. So it's not a large book by any means, but it's so gripping. And as Kate said, I'm doing the translations for this, so I'm very personally involved in this project.
Yes.
So tell us about the book. Now that I'll shut up now.
Well, it's the first in a series. It's taken me a very, very long time to write because it wasn't perfect, so I had to go back and redo, and it's basically my heart and soul in the book, so it was very hard to let it go, even to YM and the editors. But basically, Nova is looking for the family that she was separated from when she was a young child. She's had a lot of bad things happen, but she still tries to stay positive, and throughout her journey, meet some great people. And I, for one, am a firm believer in family is not just blood. Family is also your friends and the people who care about you and you care about. So along the way, her family gets bigger because it's her friends that, and then eventually she finds her way home. But then there's even more that she has to face and come up with and find out because she's a seeker, which is a different type of paranormal or supernatural entity, however you'd like to refer to that. They are the ones who, I guess, their ancestors are the ones that came up with other supernatural beings. So they all derive from what a seeker is. But she's starting to learn what exactly that means for her and who her people are and where she fits with her people. And, of course, she falls in love, because that's the best part. You got to have love in it.
Well, every good paranormal book has to have an element of love in there. Has to. Otherwise,
Yes.
it's just a paranormal book. But
Exactly.
I'm loving the book tremendously. More that I get into it doing the foreign languages, I love reading English, don't get me wrong. I get more out of reading the foreign languages than I do getting the English versions. And it's a tremendous...
I wish I knew more foreign languages.
I'm going to have to teach you. And the easiest way to teach you is to take your book that's being translated, read paragraph by paragraph the English version and the foreign language version. You're going to see
well, now you're
the
giving
word.
me homework.
I am giving you homework, but it's such a gripping, compelling story, and I love the foreign language editions because there's little subtle hints because the words change just ever so slightly because certain words do not translate into other languages.
Yeah.
And it gives the book a completely new meaning. Not different, just a little bit deeper. And it's completely compelling.
And I, for one, I love to find a book that you can read and reread and reread and reread. I like to reread books. So this will give me a chance to reread this one in multiple languages.
Yes, it will. When you go back and reread your work from the English to the foreign languages and you're comparing the two, once you read and understand the new language, you're going to get a different and deeper meaning, and hopefully in the next book, Nova will take on a deeper meaning than she already does.
That will be great. Yeah.
So there's so much going on with Starburst, and we have so much going on with our publishing house, and I'm dragging you along for so many different things that I'm working on.
Hey, I'm glad. I'm along for the ride.
Hey, I love authors like you. I can just drag you along and push you into a direction that you didn't even think about. So I'm glad to be able to do this for you. So other than...
Well, I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Other than continuing Nova's story, what else are you working on?
Well, last year I did NaNoWriMo, the National Novel Writers Month. I finished only one, but the story's still in progress. It's back to that whole, it's not perfect, so I'm not sending it out yet, but that one's Haven's Discovery. Hopefully in the next few months we'll have that one polished up. But I'm also in a couple anthologies. The one that's coming out this year is the Kings and Queens anthology, and that story is called The Sixth Queen, and it's about a society that, it's not paranormal on this one. I was kind of trying to step out of my comfort zone, but it's where the society believes that in order for their ruling family to do well, they need to make sure they bring in new blood and new families to the royal line. So every sixth queen has to come from somebody who is basically a commoner. They're chosen when they're young, and they have to learn how to be the queen. But at the beginning of the story, the current king, his queen, and his son, who is supposed to marry the new sixth queen, they're killed. So now this new girl is thrown into this whole, she's not trained for it, she doesn't know what she's doing, and all of a sudden she has to become the new queen. So that's where I'm at so far.
So this is a short story. Are you planning to do a whole novel from this?
I've considered it. Depends on how I feel at the end of it and how well it's received or not. And if it is, then I would like to expand on it, yes. It's already taken a turn on me twice.
Oh, don't
in
you
my
love
outlines?
it? Yeah, I throw
yes,
outlines away probably after the second chapter because my characters say, "Oh no, I have a better way of doing it."
Yeah, it's like this person was supposed to do one thing. They've completely done something different, so I had to redo the whole outline. I've redone the outline 3 times and I scrapped it. I said I'm done. Now it's just whatever the character wants to do.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm in the process of writing book 4 of the Light and Dark series, and I started writing a chapter that I thought would be the beginning. I'm sitting there, and I started writing a second chapter that is the beginning, and the chapter I wrote before that is now chapter 4 or 5.
Oh, geez.
I'm like,
well,
yeah.
That's what happened with the prologue for Starburst. It was supposed to be when Castor first came to the other side of the veil, he was supposed to give her that letter. And that was where it was supposed to go. That was where it was written. That was where it was said. And then I was like, nope. They wanted it at the beginning. Nova said no. So that's how that got moved around, too.
It's funny with paranormal and fantasy books how often our characters take a hold and say, no, I don't like this. I'm going to do this instead. Or, no, I don't like this at all, and it's trash.
Right. You have like 6 different scenes. They're gone.
Yeah. Versus your historical fictions and your historical or modern-day murder mysteries and stuff like that, where it's set in real time and the characters are more formed to doing what's in real time.
Not as much room for them to say, hey, I want this. No, they have to stay and follow rules.
Yeah, it's doing a murder mystery and a fantasy at the same time right now. I'm seeing the characters, the difference in their personalities. I'm sure as you get more books out, you'll see this as well.
I need to do more that they actually have to listen to me.
No, that doesn't. No,
no.
You don't want to do that. You only want to do that if it's something that happens in real time. Otherwise, it takes the element of fantasy out of the book. But that's just a word of advice from me. Take it, leave it, do what you wish. But that's just what I'm finding within my own character. So now we have Starburst that is out. Is Starburst a part of a paperback yet or not? I forget.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we
paperback.
have it on paperback. I think I ordered it, actually. I have so many books from Wild Dreams ordered, and it's impossible for me to read all of them. I will get that out there right now. I do not have the time to read every book from Wild Dreams Publishing. I wish I did, because we have so many great authors out there, and everyone has a different writing voice.
Oh, yeah.
But I find ones like yours, Sherry Branson, Kristen Collins, and Sandra Hicks, you guys all pull me in your stories that I have to have a copy. So
I appreciate that. Thank you.
With you, I'm glad I actually have 2 because I'll have the paperback eventually. And when the foreign languages come out, I will get a copy because, yeah, I like having my work on display in my house.
Oh, definitely. When my proof came for Starburst, the first thing I obviously probably understand, as soon as it opens, you have to smell it.
Oh,
you got to smell the new book smell.
New ink on new paper smells so great.
Yes.
There's nothing like it in the world. If I could have a library that smelled like new ink, I'd be in heaven.
Or even old books. Nothing in the middle, but like old books or the brand new ones. Best thing ever.
Like,
my coworkers looked at me like I was crazy when I did that, though. I'm like, you don't understand. It's a new book. You got to smell it.
like I know, like the original first edition of Catcher in the Rye, the smell of that book does not compare to the books that were written later on. They just have a different smell to them.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just the age or if it's what they used back then. Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, probably, because we never know exactly what's in the ink from back then, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm sure somewhere out in radio land someone could correct me on that and say, here's what they put in the ink, since you love the smell so much. But
yeah. Or what type of tree they used to make that paper back then versus the ones they use now. There's probably some scientific thing behind it.
There's so much different techniques used from back then to now. It's amazing. And then you throw in the new e-books that we can't smell. We can hold a tablet that don't have that paper smell.
And if you put your tablet up to your nose, I think that would be pretty weird. Versus you put the book, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
tablet doesn't smell good.
No, it doesn't. It smells like hot electronics.
Maybe we should come up with invent a cover for ebooks for like like tablets and things like that has like the new book smell on it. Like scratch and sniff style, like how they have the car air fresheners. We need to come up with that for our tablets.
That would be awesome. I'm not a fan of reading on tablets, but just the concept of it would give it a more authentic way of looking at it.
We could make millions on just that. That's what we're going to do. We're going to.
Okay, we'll figure out how to do that. I'm sure within our publishing house we have enough minds together that we could do this.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
It'll be Wild Dreams signature covers. And we could have, like, all the authors sign them, and then you just scratch at it, and it'll smell like new books.
That sounds awesome. Have to figure that out. I'm creative, but I'm not that creative.
I'm the idea person. I'm not the executor. Like, I can come up with it, but execution, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're my organizer. You're my idea person. I'm the throw things together person, but I'm not the creator of that kind of stuff. That needs a chemical PhD.
Yeah.
I'm sure we have someone in our house. I'm sure there's someone in our publishing house that could do it. If not,
supposed to help wanted add in the group.
Yes, that I can do. Now, besides doing what we're doing, Cine-book, and your writing, I'm also dragging you to an Authors Guild event that I don't have all the information to here in Ohio sometime in October.
Yes, I'm excited. We need to figure out, did you come up with a name for it yet?
Unfortunately, my event planner is away from a significant personal matter, and she won't be back until sometime next week. I'm hoping that's...
I know you didn't have a lot of the details yet, but we need to, because I'll make a group for it.
Well, we're looking at Barnes & Nobles and dinner at the Cheesecake Factory. So everyone there in Radioland, if you're in Westlake around mid to late October, look for something that's welcoming both mainstream, indie, and small press authors. at the Barnes & Noble store or at the Cheesecake Factory, because there's going to be a ton of great, talented authors.
And that Barnes & Noble is amazing.
Oh, I know. And I suggested that one for a couple of reasons. One, the entire location takes you from being in a store setting to a mini city, more or less. You have your apartments upstairs, and you have your shops downstairs, and you have your restaurants, you have all the smells, new books, old books, and then you bring in all these wonderful authors, and we all love talking about our books.
Yes. And it's 2 stories.
Yes.
It's not just one. Me coming from the country, when I first went to Westlake, the Crocker Park area where this Barnes & Noble is, I was in heaven. My husband could not drag me out of there. They were closing, and they were like, you have to go. I'm like, but it's 2 stories. It's a lot of books. I want them all.
2 days for that Barnes & Noble's to find everything.
Oh, yeah. You still can't find everything. There's so much amazingness.
Several authors.
And there's a Starbucks in there. So when you start to get tired, you get your drink and you walk around with it, and you're just powered to go. You don't ever have to leave.
I know. They have everything you need right in the store. So then you add our authors. Myself, Kae Galla, and Sean Renee will all be there from representing Wild Dreams Publishing. We will all have at least one of our published books with us. We may not have copies to sell, but we will have at least one copy so we can show our readers, if you want to connect with us, and you can get our books at barnesandnobles.com.
So exciting. I can't wait.
So we have this going on, too. So we have a lot of things going on for the publishing house. Kay has a lot of things going on with her single book that's going to be so massively big, because what foreign country doesn't love to read new books in their own language?
Right.
So we're opening that.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So in addition to do these 3 with Kay, you also have my book currently in 7 languages, the other 2 coming out shortly. So we have
so awesome.
So Wild Dreams isn't just an American English company no more. And just so we know, Wild Dreams is located in Australia. It's not an American company, but we're taking it international, literally with foreign editions for other books.
I always tease YM and all the other girls from New Zealand and Australia. I'm like, y'all are my fortune tellers. So how's tomorrow looking? Because their time zone is so far ahead that they're on the next day. So I'm like, how's tomorrow looking for me? Am I going to get anything done? It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to reach out, and you get to meet so many cool people from all over.
Oh, I know. You get from our publishing house not only New Zealand and Australia, but all over America. And we're all in different time zones, but we all connect so seamlessly, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun.
And then you have people like me.
I got lucky, too.
A lot of our authors found Wild Dreams by a whim, and they couldn't be happier. We have
I got lucky. I was looking for an editor, and Sandra, I met her in a group, and I had posted, hey, I'm looking for editors. Any suggestions? She private messaged me. She's like, you need to see YM, and you need to do this, and that was it. I sent my stuff to YM, and she's running Wild Dreams. She's like, okay, you're here. I'm like, yay! So I didn't have to go through all the craziness of trying to find places. I automatically found a great place.
Yeah, I was lucky. I was doing a book signing with Shauna Renee here in Ontario, Ohio. And the day that we did the book signing, I had just found out that morning that my publisher was going out of business. So she's like, well, here's the name of my publisher. She has my manuscripts. It's not really out published with them yet, but it's going to be. Tell her I sent you. And the rest is history.
Cool how things happen like that. They all happen for a reason.
Yeah. So we have the Wild Dreams website, which is wilddreamspublishing.com, and you can find out about all of our authors. You can sign up for our newsletter that YM puts together. I'm not sure if she's doing it monthly, quarterly, or how she's doing that, but she showcases so much great talent in the newsletter. It's wonderful to check out. Then we have
the magazine.
Yeah, I just seen that. That's another thing that's coming out, and it looks awesome. Again, I'm not sure if that's monthly, quarterly. I'm not sure how she's doing it. I can't get in YM's head. I wish I could.
The two of you are so busy. It's like, okay, where are they next? It's all spinning. There's so much stuff going on.
Right. And then you have the Wild Dreams Publishing YouTube page, which you can find all the podcasts, all the book trailers for the authors who have currently submitted their book trailers and their podcasts to Wild Dreams Publishing, or me personally. I handle that too. And let's see. And I also keep updated on who's doing book translations or having their book translated, because that's going to be the next division of Wild Dreams, as the translated publications along with the Cine-book division. Did I miss anything from Wild Dreams?
I think that's everything. We're just growing all over the place. And there'll be more to come. We're going to come up with all kinds of fun stuff.
To find more about Wild Dreams, too, I'll be heading up a Indie Expo in Columbus, Ohio in August. I'll be posting a date on my personal website here very shortly. And you can find some of our authors and information about their books at the Wild Dreams publishing table. And I think, Kae, you're so we have a lot of things going on this summer into this fall, and hopefully your book would be the third Cine-book hopeful to become adapted into the Cine-book family.
Yay!
I'm really big on the Cine-book.
600 more votes.
Oh, we're going to get those votes. Some way, how. We're going to get you those votes. We're going to get Kristen the last 60 votes for Down the Road Rabbit Hole.
Yeah, she is in the home stretch.
Yeah, she is. And then she has one other book that's being a problem child for us, but we're going to do something about that. And we have so much talent in our publishing house that this all needs to be done.
Most
Is there anything you would like to talk about with our readers today that I haven't already covered?
I think we pretty much covered all of it. Just keep an eye out for new things to come. I'm trying to outline part 2 for Starburst, but with how close that one is to my heart, it's hard for me to kind of ease back into it. Take my time because I want it to be perfect.
Do you have a title for that one? Because Starburst...
my working title is Prophecy, but it's not 100%. Like, I'm not sold on it yet. So that's my working title, Prophecy.
Okay. It's a work in progress, but like you said, it's not published yet, and you're not completely satisfied, so we'll get you there.
Yeah. Gotta have it fit. Gotta fit perfect.
So for this edition of Author Talk on Blog Talk Radio, I bid you all a good night and happy reading. Okay, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.